Hi there folks, and welcome to the Word Solutions for this week's The Daily Rigour, issue number 203. So our UK story first of all, it was the 75th anniversary of the end of the Second World War in Europe. That's an absolutely incredible milestone, and that was on Friday there. So a wee interesting fact for you in our bog standard question here. I wonder if you got the intentional pun there. So while British soldiers actually got just 3 sheets of toilet paper per day, and believe it or not, American soldiers actually got 5 sheets. So they definitely get the better deal there in this time of panic buying toilet rolls and whatnot. The war. Germany and Great Britain were at war for a total of 2,077 days. So how many toilet rolls would be needed to give a British soldier his full quota of paper? Well, first of all, we need to work out how many sheets he needs in total. So it's basically going to be 2,077 lots of 3 sheets because the soldier needs 3 sheets for every day. So we need to do 2,077 times 3 first of all, which is 6,231 sheets altogether. And then there's 1,000 sheets in our bog standard roll of toilet paper. So how many thousands do we need? How many groups of 1,000 can we divide these sheets into? In other words, we can do a division. 6,231 divided by 1,000 gives us an answer of 6.231 rolls. But for this question, I'd say that you have to round it in its context. So how many toilet rolls would be needed to give a British soldier his full quota? This means 6 and a bit rolls, so we need 7 rolls altogether. So I hope the British Army went to Aldi and got a good deal in that in the bulk buys there. So we've got some great stories coming out. You know, we talked about Captain Tom Tom Moore a couple of weeks ago. So we've got this fantastic 10-year-old girl who's vowed to do 7.1 million keepy uppies, one for each of the UK key workers to raise money for charity. So she's managing about 2,000 a day. So if she continues at this rate, how many days will it take her to meet her target? So 7.1 million, we've obviously got to write that out, I would say, fully. So it's 7,100,000. And we want to know how many times 2,000 is going to go into this. So we divide by 2,000, and that gives us an answer of 3,550 days, which is quite a long time. Apparently she's upped her game since her initial aim, but she is accepting Keepy Up donations, so maybe if you check out our Just Giving page, if you give her a wee Google, but I don't think she'll accept my paltry effort of 12 Keepy Ups, but never mind. Okay, so on to a science story. So a photographer got this absolutely cracking picture of the moon recently. I mean, look at it, it's absolutely stunning. Well, that's what I think anyway. So what we've done is we've linked this to the full moons. So we're seeing some absolutely amazing sunsets just now with this lovely weather. So on what date was the last full moon in the UK? So it was 3 days ago from the date of this newspaper. So take 3 away from the 10th, it's going to be the 7th, isn't it? Still going to be in May, so it's going to be 0705, and obviously it's still going to be in 2020. And remember, we shouldn't abbreviate the year 2020 as just 20, because then it could be easily forged, because if you just wrote 20, somebody could just change that to a 17 or whatever. So we should write the year in full. Okay, so that's been and gone, we've got to let that go. But what about the next full moon? So, and this is a slight retype from the initial post where I actually got it wrong. I do apologise about that. That correct answer was that correct answer was the 7th of June. But let's do the proper one. So 3 weeks next Friday from the date of this newspaper. Okay, so Friday is going to be 5 days on from the 10th of May, today's date, so that's going to be the 15th of May, and then we're just going to add on 7, which is the 22nd, we're going to add on 7, which is the 29th, May's got 31 days, so if we add on 7 to that, it's going to take us to the 5th of the next month. And of course the next month from May is June, so it's going to be the 5th of the 6th, and of course it's still going to be 2020, so we'll look out for that when the time comes. Okay, on to our last story. Some entrepreneurs here, for those of us that are missing the McDonald's taste. Now, just to let you know, in the story that I posted a few weeks ago about making your own Big Mac, I actually did that with my family, and they hate my cooking, but they actually loved them and swore blind that it tasted like a Big Mac. But if you don't want to try and make it yourself, we've got some bargains in Facebook Marketplace, where you can buy some of the sauces for unbelievable prices, including that chili dip one. So how much does it cost for all 4 sauces? We're basically just going to add up all the prices. Now I'm actually going to do this, dare I say it as a vertical sum. And I hope that none of your primary teachers shout at me and give me dog's abuse for that. But I think it's quite nice to actually look at the place value. And it kind of helps with your mental maths here. But of course, there's about a million different strategies you could use to add these numbers. So we've got a 26, a 2 tens and a 6 units. We've got £60, so it's 6 tens and 0 units. We've got £69, so 6 tens and 9 units. Then we've got a 10,000, so these two zeros are your tens and your units. So you'd have a 0 in the hundreds column, a 0 in the thousands column, and a 1 in the tens of thousands column. And we're going to add all these up. So we start by adding the units. 6 add 0, add 9, add 0 is 15. So it's like 5 units and then 1 10. So we need to carry that 1 over to the tens column. And then we've got 2 add 6, add 6, add 1. So that's going to give us 15 again. So it's going to be 5 tens and then the 100, which we'll carry to the hundreds column. Then we've just got 0 add 1, which is 1. And then 0 add, well, nothing, which is 0, and then 1 tens of thousand. So there's our answer, but we have to write our answer in words. So this was your tens of thousands. So we've got 10,000, we've got 100, and then we've got and 55 at the end there. But because it was a cost, we should have technically wrote pounds at the end. But anyway, so I hope you're going okay with that Daily Rigour. In fact, some might say I hope you're McLoving this week's Daily Rigour. Stay tuned for next week's edition when we're looking at more stories to the news of the week and the numbers behind them. But in the meantime, thanks for watching and bye for now.